My first encounter with any form of I think, remorse or regret was they put a girl beside me. She was on the floor. As I said, it's 3 tiers. So you have 4 persons in a little cubicle. I remember her brother was in that show, this show that Morgan Freeman was in, Lean on Me, right? And he was in one of the guys that was in the bathroom singing and stuff. And so she had some kind of, clout and recognition. Hey, how you doing? How's your brother doing? She was right beside me and the drug started coming out of her system. And she started kicking. That's the terminology used. And kicking is one of the most painful things you'll probably see a human being go through. It looks as though they're going to die. Like everything in her gets tense and tight, and you see like veins popping up, and she's convulsing and shaking violently, and she's throwing up, and she's making a weird sound as if she's going to die. And I just recently learned that in most drug rehabilitation centers, to ease the process of kicking, they put people to sleep or they give them anesthetics. That's how bad it is. And I said, damn. I said, this is what I bring into them. And that was my wake-up call right then and there.
You have somebody like Kerry who grew up in a home where there was the mother and the father, but still yet it was dysfunctional. And because of that, it caused her to look for stability in other areas, whether it was smoking, whether it was friends, all of the above. She's just thinking, okay, I'm getting away from my situation. I'm getting away from these people who can't hurt me. The quarrel and the fight and she wanted to get away from that.
Any place in the United States or out the country, and where there's poverty, there's drugs.
Upon her return home to Jamaica, life behind bars continued like a shadow, preventing stability in the workforce.
It really hits hard when your past comes back to bite you, and it bit her. She fell and she fell hard. But as I say, what I've always admired is the fact that she is very strong.
If anyone was supposed to ask me like, what's you? I said, oh.
Boy, I'm lie down on the floor and bawl to.
Like, sorry. Like, God, like God has never left my side ever. I mean, no matter what I've been through, what I've gone through, I just pray and I know it's going to be fine. One way or the other, it's going to work itself out. Sorry. So, well, yeah, I just knew that it would work itself out, some way, somehow. So, I remember trying to apply for jobs when I just came back. And, everybody's like telling you no, because they'd ask you, if you have a record or something. And I'd tell them, yeah, it's not something I want to hide or whatever. And oh my God, you started getting the no's. It started taking its toll, so much so that I was saying, boy, mentally and emotionally, I felt more together and more in control when I was in jail.
I do think that at least in this country, people generally are pretty forgiving and are willing to let somebody prove themselves now and not hold their past against them. But it can be difficult for people to get employment, after they've been in prison.
Once they've done their time and have been reformed, they should be allowed to return to society and function as an ordinary, normal human being.
She has a lot more to bring to the table than her past. They stand, to me, in my view, they stood to gain a whole lot more than what they would have lost.
Even if her story is, yes, I have been down this road and I would like to help you not to go down this road, that is another positive. I don't know if it's helpful for a society to throw people out because somebody is tarnished and nobody can touch them again. That is counterproductive. That is taking a talent, that's throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Taking a talent and saying, yes, I recognize you're good, I want to hire you, but I heard that you once did something bad, therefore I'll do without your good talent. That's short-sighted.
Look, I don't just represent drug couriers, right? I mean, I represent real criminals. Not that carrying drugs isn't a crime, but, I represent people charged with murder, robberies, and things like that, people who are in and out of prison. Most drug couriers are not that. Most drug couriers are people who made, a decision because they were desperate to commit a crime. And most of them learn their lesson.
The job that I employ people for, particularly with broadcasting, carries another level of responsibility in that you can influence other people in the society. And so it's very important that you understand the power that you have, and very important that you are committed to using it properly. She has always proven to be an asset.
Guess what? That's just one entity, And if it's 5 people, that's just 5 out of 2 point odd million. Or even the world. If it's 10 people a fight against you, then it's just 10 people. If the entire world is against you, then you have you. She was coming from a place, and it was a dark place, wanting to find self, and she actually just came up and just found herself. She is not going to open up to you if you're just standing out there being judgmental and looking from the outside in. Come in and get to know her, right? Get up close, get personal with her, and she'll tell you. Is the most down-to-earth person you can find around town right now.
I stand the chance of people being judgmental, which has happened before. I've been turned down from jobs. I've had contracts taken away from me because this has been disclosed. And I remember when I came back home, I was pretty open about it. Like, I never had a problem talking. My goal was to really, go into schools and talk to, girls about this. Like, that's what I really wanted to do. And again, with my mom, always saying, no, you can't do that. And just because of that fear, just because of that concern, because I still have to survive at the end of the day. I spent so much of my younger years, trying so hard to survive and to make it. And now I'm at a point where I'm finally able to make ends meet somewhat. And it's like, do you really want to talk about this and run that risk of losing income when you have, yourself to feed, you have, mouths to feed? What do you do? But then you almost feel like if you're in the media, you have an obligation somewhat, like you have an obligation to say, listen, this is what happened, this is what went through, and just hope to God that it will inspire or help one person at least, but then the flip side to it is, do you really want to take that risk?
After all that I've been through.